Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining one more webinar of Athena Advisors. We've been doing this for since COVID. We've have done over 100 of these. We have over 6,000 people watching our webinars, and it's a great pleasure to have one more webinar to share with you today. Today, my name is David Moore George. I work at Athena Advisors, and maybe you have seen me in other webinars. And today, I'm joined here by Benjamin from Tan Investments. Hi, Benjamin.
Good afternoon. Hey,
How are you
David.
doing?
Doing well. And yourself?
Good, good. So, are you in summer right now?
No, I'm in the office. Just got the
O-
billboard behind me.
Okay,
Thanks.
great.
Thanks for having me today.
No, great. Thank you so much for joining us today. So today we're going to talk to you a little bit about the area of Melides and Comporta. It's this buzzing area that maybe you've heard a lot about it in the news, and it's a very very peculiar and upcoming region. But before that, let me just tell you who is Athena Advisors. So we are celebrating actually our 20 years. Athena Advisors, we're international sales network and property investment advisory. We specialize in attracting residential and commercial projects in key markets around the world. So this is a little bit what we do. How do we do it? We have 45 people. We have 4 different offices. Our headquarters is in London. We have offices in Paris, in Lisbon, in Nancy, in the middle of the Alps, and we have a smaller representation office in Rio de Janeiro. Again, we've been doing this for over 20 years. We have helped over 1.5 billion invest in our residential or our commercial projects. Yearly, we get over 1,000 inquiries, which we help different families, advising them how should they do it, where should they do it. Listen to them, understand their needs, and try to guide them through this process of property search. Uh, Today, the average purchase price in Portugal that we're seeing is 1.1 million. Just a small reminder, you have your chat. You can write some questions down. We will come back to them at the end of the presentation. Benji and I will be, having some time at the end to answer all your questions at the end. But today, what are we going to talk to you about? It's really Comporta-Melides. This is one of the most stunning areas in Portugal. It is very, very special because since the 1900s, it has been frequented by in the 1960s by a lot of artists and a lot of intellectual people have been going down there. It was only owned by a few families in 1955, but in 1974 we had the Carnation Revolution, and so there were a lot of these assets were taken back by the government, by the state. But then afterwards, in 1991, this land was returned. So we have in Europe something unseen, which is this extension of 61 kilometers of beach area, which are almost untouched because of this. So a lot of the families that got this back in the 1922, they start looking at this, requalifying this between 92 and 2010. In 2018, we start seeing some small developments, some hotels establishing themselves, and in 2019 we really start seeing a bigger flock of international tourists arriving, understanding what Comporta is, and but it's really in touch, right, Benji? You have to agree with me that it's this area
It's becoming, or it is a total hotspot. I think you've got
right.
all the most fantastic hotels, all one space, all want a place there to put a hotel. The Le Boutin just opened in Melides.
That's right.
You've got confirmation that the Amman resorts and hotels will be opening a hotel very close to summer, actually, but in Comporta. So yeah, there's all the spas that are coming up. So it is a massive hotspot, I think, as we see now amongst Portuguese and also many Europeans. They want to be in Comporta in the summer.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So even during COVID, we already having 1.2 million tourists coming into the Setúbal area, which is where Comporta is. And now, even just last year, 2022, we already saw this rebound and even an increase of 16% to 1.4 million people. So this area, it's already, moving forward very well and recovered from the COVID area. Comporta has been compared, when people arrive there, they've been comparing it to Jose Ignacio in Uruguay. That is this little gem in South America, as well as Trancoso, the northern part of Brazil, with these untouched beaches. Also in Ibiza, not by the night, by the lifestyle of the night, but really, Ibiza, it's a huge island. There are some really special spots that they are still untouched, and they're in terms of nature, they're mesmerizing. They're amazed to see. And also in terms of architecture, it has been compared to Hamptons, and a little bit this luxury style of barefoot. It has also been compared to the Hamptons. I think in terms of architecture and a little bit the way of living, it reminds me a lot of the Hamptons. Why are people being attracted to this? So again, it's very untouched. As we go through this, you can feel not only the stalks, those big birds all around, but all the beach areas. Madonna came over and she really loved it. Yeah, I don't know, Benji, if you saw those movies of her riding the horses in the beaches of the Comporta area.
Yeah, I mean
uh,
the beach faces sunset, so there's sunset every day. The sand is, I think, the best I've seen in all of Europe, or one of the best I've seen in all of Europe.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
carry on.
For sure. Yeah, it's starting to take an upscale, but still it's very discreet. And the way that the development is being done in general, Benji, I think it's very well done, because the developments are apart from each other. There's space, and there's this huge area that has been untouched. So I think it
I
will.
think apart from when you get into the little villages, like the village of Comporta or Carvajal, as you spread along the coast, everything is spread out. So there isn't this feeling of everybody on top of each other. So the
For sure.
developments that are being developed are on large pieces of land, and everything is really close to the beach.
Yeah, and it's really, really close to Lisbon. So again, Lisbon is the only capital in Europe that sits on the beach, and in an hour and 15 minutes, you can get to this amazing area, which is untouched, which is Comporta or Melide, or this whole peninsula, which it's amazing. And this has been getting a lot of traction by this not new concept, but this concept of the slow living, which really they originated in the 1980s by a food critic, an Italian food critic, when McDonald's opened up in Rome. I don't know if you knew that, Benji, but this is where it came from. And about the slow um, movement of cooking and dining. And then this was also the philosophy just got broader, with emphasizing on the importance of people slowing down, the savoir of the moment, enjoying the simple things of life. So this slow living, it's something that it's getting a lot of attraction. People are looking more and more for this. And as we can see it, just uh 70% of people believe the world is moving too fast. I think maybe even more people. But anyways, it has been in just recently, since the hashtag slow living on Instagram, the word has increased over 500% in these past years. There has been the tourism sector has seen this opportunity, and this increase in demand in the sector. So just in Google search, in the past 5 years, it has gone up 245%. And today, the slow living market is estimated to be 100 billion. And definitely Comporta and this area fits here, right, Benji? Don't you think so, that it's
Yeah, 100%.
yeah, when we get there, sometimes I'm in a rush. I need to go down to Comporta for a visit, but as soon as I arrive there, I just feel
Tranquility.
this tranquility
Yeah,
and the ease all around,
the dunes and those pine trees.
for sure. So Comporta is also, it's this 61 kilometers of coastline, and there's kilometers and kilometers of beaches that you can't see, no one, not even during the month of August. It's because people don't to have access, you need to walk. So they're slowly developing these accesses to the beaches that remain for them to be almost untouched. There are a dozen of water sports that you can do. Some days of the year surfing, but other than that, there's kite surfing, there's skiing, there's all these different water sports that you can do. There are these two fantastic Michelin stars. Benji, have you been to any one of these? I'm sure you have.
The
Uh,
11 in Melides, which
oh,
is kind
really?
of
Yeah, I haven't made it
Mediterranean cuisine.
to that one yet. Yeah, but I heard that one is really good as well as Porco. I think, I haven't been to any of them, but maybe next time I come down,
We'll
we
go
need to
together.
go for a lunch at one of these. Huh? Maybe we'll try the Porco one, Benji.
Sounds good.
And so there are also these vineyards, 8,000 hectares of vineyards, 6,000 hectares of protected parklands. Plus, a lot of times when the day is clear, you're in Comporta, you can see the beautiful Arrábida National Park, which is this mountain in front of you. And it's also a national park that has over 19,000 hectares. There are 13 spas and wellness centers opening across Comporta, which is great. And not only it's a great location, but these are numbers from AirDNA, which is a little bit the back office of Airbnb, which shows us that rental property growth, from 2019 to 2000 for this year, it has grown 28%. This is rental property growth, and not only has this growth, but also the rental price has growth. So you have 22% so the people are charging more for their houses, and even people charging more for their houses, the properties continue to grow. The sizes of this property, as we can see here in Comporta, you have more 3 and 4 bedroom houses, and there are a shortage of these in Melides. You don't see many of these bigger compounds in Melides. So this is a little bit to get you an idea of the active rentals that are in the market and the size of them. If they are 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, or 3 bedrooms. So here you can have a little panoplia of what's there out in the market. Prices per square meter, I think this is a very important aspect, because people sometime, again, when if they compare it to Ibiza, which you can't buy a property there for less than 10,000 for square meter, or Mallorca, Quinta do Lago in Portugal, it's always between 12 to 16,000 per square meter in Quinta do Lago nowadays. Biarritz, the Hamptons. So Comporta, it's still, we believe there is, room here to definitely catch up with Ibiza, but again, at a slower pace, at a different quality of life. But Comporta, it's on the move. So it's still an opportunity to benefit from this upcoming prices of square meters. And also, if you come and live here, there are different tax incentives that you can benefit. One of these regimes is called the NHR regime. That it gives you a tax holiday of 10 years. You need to spend here 183 days in another country, but at least 180 days in Portugal. It's valid for 10 years. In Portugal, there's no wealth tax. There's 0% on foreign sourced income. There's the people have the freedom of movement. If you are on the NHR, you will any source of income in Portugal, it will be 20 to 28 20 to 28%. And of course, if you're living here, you have access.
Depending on the industry and kind of, yeah, what kind of income you're generating here. So
Exactly. But
a
if
flat
I,
rate that they offer.
I'm an NHR, even though that I'm Portuguese, but I lived over 5 years abroad. And today at the company that I work with, I pay in my I take 20% flat fee, and people, if I didn't have this, I would pay 45% of my income would
I'm,
go to.
I'm under the same structure.
Okay, great. Yeah, great. So we're the lucky ones, Benjamin, and other people can join us. But Sama, we're here to tell you a little bit more about Sama and Benji. No one better than you can tell us a little some details of this fantastic project. I was there just last week visiting, so tell us a little bit about this.
So first about us, we're Tan Investments. We are developing the project Summer. We have been specializing in prime high-end residential real estate in Lisbon since 2014. So we've got a fantastic track record with, with, I think over 120 million under management. And over the past couple of years, we have sold in excess of 150 million worth of real estate. So, these kind of numbers are to show that we deliver. A lot of our clients are repeat customers. At the moment, we have just finished and delivered 2 buildings in Chiado, and Summer at the moment is our main focus. We've got one more development in Grassa that we are finishing off. So all focus now is getting underway with Summer. So Summer's in Comporta. We purchased the land a few years ago. We made some changes to the original plans and designs. And we are developing 16 units, which are for sale, and a reception building. The resort, or let's say the development, is considered as a 3-star touristic development here in Portugal. This means that we need to offer services within this development. So we will be offering maintenance. It'll be under a management agreement where we will be, if you choose to rent the property out, we will be managing that, check-ins, check-outs, cleanings of the pool, cleaning of the houses, all the booking management, all the licenses. There will also be a basic food and beverage in the reception building, and that's it on the service side. So if we look at where it's located,
Wow, this is stunning. This rendering, it's fantastic.
Yeah, so I think what's really unique about this project is the plot sizes are massive. So the smallest plot size is around 2,400 square meters. That's for a T2. And the largest one goes up to just shy of 12,000 square meters. So the development of these 16 villas is really spread out. Okay, they're very spacious, and they are all kind of designed along this bungalow style, Moroccan, Moroccan style, I would say, house. Now, the bonus with all of these properties is that, we have T2s available, T3s available. All the T4s have been sold. So out of the 16, we've already sold 6, so we have 10 left.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so we've only launched it maybe 2.5 months ago, and things are going really well. We've had lots of interest and lots of movements on site. But coming back to the bonus is that each of these houses also has a basement. So the basement could be that additional bedroom, it could be the gym, it could be your wine cellar. So you get this additional space with all of the houses. When we look at it, what's exciting is that you've also got a roof terrace upstairs. So up on the roof, half of the roof will be for the services and half will be to enjoy the view, where David, I think the properties on the higher side of the site will be able to get the view of the mountain of Arabida.
Wow.
Sea views from the roof terraces, I do not believe is going to be likely, just because the trees will be in the way.
Right.
But the site is approximately 6 kilometers as the crow flies to the closest beach. Yeah, so this is one of the roof terraces with the view in the background. We will be delivering the villas fully furnished, and we are committing to these visuals, these renders. So when it comes to the furniture, the floor finishes, the light fittings, the apertures, the internal height in this room is about 3.8 meters, 3.9 meters high. So the apertures are also really, really big with super bright spaces. The same with the bedrooms, the fitted wardrobes with the rattan and the beds. All of this is included. So what else have I missed? Is there anything else that you think I need to describe, David?
Yeah, I really know. I really like this architecture, the way that it has implemented there in Comporta. And I think it's those people maybe that haven't been there. They think, why isn't this right next to the water? So the legislation in Portugal, I just think that it's, legally you can't build any more closer to the water. You have a line of 2 kilometers from the ocean coastline that you can build. So all the majority of the projects that are being built in Comporta,
Set
they
back.
are they're back. They're back. So you have some like a nice hotel like Sublime and stuff that is there, but it's also behind. So it's important that people understand this, because some clients of mine, they say, oh, we want to buy in Comporta, we want a house on top of the water. That doesn't exist. So it's for people to be clear on this. I think it's important to share. I think these terraces, are really a fantastic idea in the project, Benji, because it will give you a, s- a space it will work very well with these visuals, overseeing a little bit the top of the trees. I could totally picture myself there, and the tranquility of being there, going for a dive in the pool, and then coming up for a little sun, overseeing these trees.
Um, yeah, the pools are all very decent sizes. Also, I mean, like we said with the gardens, when it comes to the landscaping, we're also committing to ensuring that we replant a number of trees and really kind of keep it to be as green as possible. Um,
And the yield that you think, that's achievable from this,
so
Benji.
so we have
Yeah.
done some studies with Amazing Evolution, who have an MOU with us to manage the project once it's ready. So they've given us their figures. So Amazing Evolution are one of the largest short let property managers in all of Portugal, and they've given us their numbers, and when you factor in the VAT, the costs for the booking platforms, taxes, maintenance, and so on, the yield varies as we're working on square meters of the villas and the plot sizes, between, I'd say, about 4 to almost 6%. Okay,
Right.
so I've shared that document with you. So if
Great.
anybody
I
does
think
does
these are great returns, because in Lisbon for the residential now we're getting like 3 to 4 max.
Yeah, so this is it. I think if we are going to look at the yield on the real estate in 3 years' time, we are missing the kind of bigger picture about buying now. So today we'd say you're buying at a discount, you're buying at the kind of wholesale price, because we are estimating a very strong capital appreciation over the next 3 years while we develop.
For sure, for sure. I can see that, and I can see what has happened in Comporta for the past, not even 5 years, in the past 2 to 3 years, how much property values have increased there. And a project like this, licensed and already beginning construction like yours, they're very hard to find. So congratulations on that, because I know it was probably
I think that's also the topic, right, David? Is that there are no more licenses being issued in any region of Comporta. The amount of holiday beds or the amount of beds is fixed, and there are no more licenses being issued for the time being that we
right. Right, fantastic. So we have some questions here. I believe so. Let's try to get to them. So good afternoon, good evening, everyone, depending where you are. Just joining, please. Questions. Yeah, this is our marketing working. Thank you, marketing, for this. A question via social media. Thank you. Why do people choose Comporta over, say, Cascais or further west from Lisbon instead of the south? What's your take on this, Benji? Then I'll give you my opinion.
I would say, Cascais and Lisbon are areas where you've got all the great schools. You have, the hustle and bustle of the city. It's the place where most people live. I think Comporta has this concept of this holiday living, and so the typical buyer is not buying there necessarily to live full time.
Right.
So that would be my take, David.
Yeah, I think also. Um, the area of Comporta, it's compared to Cascais, it's something. Comporta, it's much more naturey, and you totally unplug. When I'm in Cascais, I'm still hooked. I'm
Still in the
still
city kind
I'm
of thing.
still silly. I'm still wired. So I think this is why just really the tranquility and not having anyone around you, and the peacefulness of this, being able to go to the beach. Here in Cascais, you go to Guincho. Most of the days, in reality, it's really windy, and in Comporta, you don't see that, and you see more these clear waters that you can go in regularly. So yeah, I think the tranquility and the slowness again of this that we've chatted a little bit about for sure. And Benji, I think that suppose we need a new airport in the Lisbon, in greater Lisbon area for sure. So there has been a lot of debate. This was almost for sure it's going to be on this side of the bridge, correct?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
So if this happens, I mean, probably we're looking at to get to from the new airport to Comporta would be like 30 to 40 minutes. So it would be the time that people are taking from the actual airport to Cascais. So depending on how things move, if this really happens, this is what it should happen. Couple more from social. Thanks. Keep
So,
them.
a question about these properties being eligible for the Golden Visa program. They are not a Golden Visa, a kind of tailored product. But if you, whoever asked that question, if you're interested, drop us an email because we do have a potential workaround.
Great, great. Hi, thanks for the invitation. Can you tell me about any expected forecast rental returns for these properties? I think, thank you so much. We've mentioned this as Benji said. It's a bit something will between the 4 and 8% yield is a little bit what we're expecting. And now I see a question is coming up from Brian. Hi, Brian. Hope you're well. We're here waiting for your question to pop up. When was the last time you were in Comporta, Benji?
Last week.
Last week. You know what? I went to the new restaurant Praia, uh, in Comporta. So yeah, the food was delicious there, and the decoration. It's like being in the Alps, and having this sensation of being in a chalet, but you're really on top of the beach. It was great.
Okay, Brian's questions come in. If you offer the rental program, are they set weeks? So each buyer of the villas is obliged to enter the management agreement for the development. You can choose to rent out the property on a full-time basis to yourself, okay, or you could block book, the months of the year that you wanted to use the house, and the rest of the time you could say that you wanted it to be rented out or not. Of course, if it's not being rented out, the general maintenance of the condominium is still going to be there, and the general maintenance of keeping the house clean and the pool clean, these will all still be there. So it is completely up to you when you rent the house out or not, whether you block it off for yourself or not, whether you live there most of the time or not. So the only obligation is entering into this management agreement as part of the entire development.
Great. We have another question here from Jennifer. Uh, what is your expected delivery time on the project, Benji?
So we've signed the agreement with FCC, who are our contractors.
They're really good. Great. Congrats for that. Yeah.
Yeah, again, I think one of the top guys in Portugal delivering the big construction projects. So we're very excited to see what they do. And they have gone on site this week. They're starting the tidying of the site, the cleaning of site, the topography, and we hope to have all the construction, all the finishes done within 24 months. Okay, that's 2 years from today. But we are not committing to delivering before 3 years. We say this because once the project is finished, we apply for the license to use, which means that we can sign the final deed and hand over the property to you. And that means that we are reliant upon the authorities and third parties. Sometimes it takes 3 months, sometimes it takes 6 months. It could take a little bit longer. So what we are saying is that we will deliver within a maximum period of 36 months, and we hope to deliver within 24.
Right.
So that is the answer, Jennifer. Brian, the rental agreement, so the management agreement at this point in time, we're 3 years away from setting the agreement. So within the promissory agreement that we sign when you buy, we are both agreeing that we will enter into an agreement that is put forward. So at the moment, it could be for a 2-year, 3-year period. It just depends on the management agreement with Amazing Evolution. I hope that answers your question.
Christopher Mann asks a similar cool project. Who will manage the property once finished?
Yeah, Amazing Evolution and ourselves.
Amazing Evolution is the name of the company, and the Benji, they have been in the market for a while because that name is something that. Could you describe a little bit who they are in Portugal?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I can't remember exactly, but thousands of properties under management.
Okay.
And they're the top guys for managing short rentals and this kind of business.
Yeah, I know their name has popped up in the news a couple of times, and I've heard quite good references about them. From Denny, I miss how much the prices are for the villas, for example, the T3, the T3.
Okay, so the T3s, I think there are 4 left. 7, 8, 9, 10. Villa 7, 8, 9, 10 are the ones that are left. 3 million or 3.1. Those are the prices.
Okay,
The
great.
T2s are at 1.8. And we didn't talk about the payment terms. The payment terms on the project are 30% upon signing of the promissory agreement, 30% within 1 year, or when the construction of the villa is complete, and then the 40% balance on final deed.
Great. Fantastic. Well, Benji, I think this is it. Thank you so much. I think this was great. In 30 minutes, we give a good wrap up of what Comporta-Melides is all about, and we presented your project. I'm really looking forward to see how it moves forward and evolutes. Thank you, everyone, for assisting today. Thank you, our marketing and the team advisors. Great. Get in touch with us. Thank you. Thanks,
Thank you very
Benji.
much. Cheers.
Let's go and try that restaurant soon. Okay, Benji?
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
Take care. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Ciao, David. Bye.